Hey guys, I wasn't planning on making this video yet, but it'll be Halloween in 2 days, so I thought I'd jump on here real quick since I have a few minutes and show you guys some of the stuff I picked up fairly recently. Some of it goes back, a few days or weeks. And basically wish everybody a happy Halloween and hope you have a good one. Let's get started on some of this, and I'll show you some of this junk I've picked up. First of all, I got some Blu-rays here. Now, this Love Brides of the Blood Mummy, I did not even know this existed. I had never heard of this movie, but it's a thing. I'm into Euro horror and especially Spanish horror. I'd never heard of it. But anyway, this came out in 1973, and this is the Blu-ray for it by Mondo Macabro. And yeah, it doesn't want to focus there because of all the stuff in the background. The camera's kind of finicky that way. Let me see here. Resort to blocking that off. Maybe get a focus, maybe not. Yeah, anyway, this has got some good special features. It's a good release. And the movie is kind of slow, as a lot of the older movies are slower paced. But it's not bad. I mean, it's pretty good. It's got Teresa Gimpera in it, and that's a big plus for it. And if the guy that plays the mummy had kind made up to be looking undead, this would have been a whole lot better. He just looks like a weird dude with kind of a hippie haircut or whatever. But anyway, it's not bad. It's worth getting for sure if you're into horror, especially Euro horror. And we'll look at this one. I also got this Horrible Sexy Vampire. This came out in 1971. It's got it's Spanish production. It stars Walt Davis, and I think he did some stuff for Jess Franco back in the day. But anyway, this has some good special features as well. All these have audio commentaries and interviews and things. And this also has a couple of guys that showed up in some Paul Naschy flicks and other Spanish and European horror later, Luis and Dooney and Barda Barry. So, if you're into Euro horror, especially Spanish horror and Paul Naschy stuff, this is definitely worth picking up. And I'll see if I can get this. That way you can read the special features and all and the synopsis and decide if you want to get one. But these are fairly cheap. I mean, you can get the Blu-rays of these for less than 20 bucks, I think. And I got this one, Don't Deliver Us from Evil. If you're religious, don't get this. If you're not, you'll probably enjoy it. It's from 1971. It's French. And it's anti-church. The guy had an axe to grind. The director had an axe to grind, and he got this thing made. And it's got a lot of blasphemy but it's got a lot of horror tropes. So if you can overlook the disparagement of organized religion, you'll probably get a kick out of it, provided you're not a prude. And I seriously doubt if any prudes are watching any of my videos. Not that I get blue on here or anything, but, I try to keep it clean for general audiences. But not a Bible thumper either, so just a regular guy. There we go. You can freeze that and check out special features and see if you want to invest in this. It's pretty good. I have fun with it. It's entertaining. And we'll go with a couple of non-monster items here real quick. I got some of these multi-packs of Marvel comics from the 70s, Marvel multi-mags. This one is 3 comics for 74 cents, back from the mid-70s when Cover price for regular size comics was $1. You get 3 books in there, you know. And I forget what the third one is. Maybe Jungle Action. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to open them. That's why I bought this, because I didn't have any of these multi-mag packs in my collection. And then this one here, you get 2 comics for 79 cents. I remember these from back in the day, you know, when I was first started collecting. I got to remember not to talk too loudly because I have to stand near this microphone, and sometimes it distorts my voice when I talk too loudly by this thing. And basically, you know, you just get a penny off or whatever. For current comics back in the day, this one was really cheap. These G.I. Joe issues. 3 comics for $1.99 back when they were 75 cents. That's a better deal, but... So anyway, pick those up just to have examples in my collection of those multi-mag packs. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe in the 60s when I was small, I picked up one of those by King Comics, and it was really cheap, and it had an issue of Flash Gordon, an issue of the Phantom, and an issue of Mandrake in it. And I enjoyed that as a kid. But so far, the only ones I have are the Marvel ones. Now, this is not new, of course. This is my original Foon poster from the 70s by Jim Steranko. And let's see if I can get this thing to show up here. So anyway, I'm sure most of you guys have seen these. And it's got the spiel there by Stan, you know, Fumus Fabricators and all that. And I thought this was long gone. I mean, you can still see I had put labels at each corner to reinforce the paper where I put tacks in. I had this tacked to the wall for a while. But I thought that was long gone, and I actually found it down in the basement. Still hoping that membership card turns up, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. And here's kind of a weird thing. This is a blow mold devil trident without the handle. Some eBay seller had this, and I got it real cheap. I just thought it looked cool. I was going to try to find a handle to put in there, you know, and attach it like an old broom handle or something, maybe spray painted black if it wasn't already black. But right now I had this displayed on my mantle with a bunch of other blow mold stuff and Halloween stuff, and it looks pretty cool just the way it is. So I'll probably just leave that the way it is. And I got some more Stexe Monsters. This is Return of Creature Features. I had the first release of Creature Features, these small figures that he did in a previous video that I did. This is the second one. This completes it for now. But anyway, you've got the She Creature, Saucer Man, and you guys know what movies these are from. There's nothing obscure here, maybe except Octoman. And here is the Brain Martian from Invaders from Mars, and of course the Tingler, Menace Vincent. And here is Octoman. That's pretty obscure. I did not have that on disc. I had to hunt that up on the internet and watch it. It's really low budget, but you know, it's fun. And here is some more stuff from Stexe. This is the green slime figure. He sent me a note asking if I wanted him to pour this up in the UV reactive stuff. And I don't have a black light, but I thought, well, why not? You know, either that or the darker opaque green. I went for the UV reactive. Thought it was more appropriate. And anyway, that's a little green slime figure that he did. And this is the Zante magnet. It's a refrigerator magnet of a Zante Misfit from The Outer Limits, the classic episode, you know, Zante Misfits. And it's really neat. I've got that on my fridge with some other monster magnet stuff. And this is Slithus, movie that came out back in '78, I think. I saw it at the drive-in when it first came out. And it's one of those where the monster is created, I think from, let's see, is it radiation or toxic waste? It's some kind of standard like that. But this is a pretty cool figure, and I had fond memories of this movie. It's not a great movie by any means, but if you saw it firsthand in the drive-in, then it holds a place in your heart. And Stexe also offered with that figure, this is a copy of the photo from the fan club. And I never owned this photo, so it was cool to get a copy of this thing. Thanks for joining my fan club, Slithus and his staff. It's like he's in charge of the staff that put the movie together. And it also came with a little bit smaller reprint of the giveaway survival kit. And I'll show you my original one that I still had from when I saw that at the drive-in. And there's a picture of Slithus on the front there. He looked a little different in the movie, but you know, it's the movie's called Spawn of Slithus, but on the poster it just looked like Slithus. And there's the hype, you know, about the fan club and all that. And here's the fan club thing where you can join the fan club and get the photo and the membership card. That I do not have, of course. Stexe did not have a copy of that, but I was glad just to get a copy of the photo just for the heck of it, you know. What you did, you filled this out and cut that off and either send it in, or it says you can return it to the theater, and weeks later, yeah, it says deposit this portion of the official survival kit in the membership box located in the lobby or concession stand of this theater. You may pick up your free photo and membership card 3 weeks from now at this theater, or enclose 25 cents for postage and handling, and mail to Slithus Fan Club in Iowa. Now, this was very low budget. I seriously doubt if most theaters participated in this. I don't think our local drive-in did back in the late 70s, because I don't remember seeing any box in there. I just kept it intact and I never sent off for the thing, so it's kind of cool to get that photo reprint. And here are some Stexe Monsters bootleg MPC pop-top horrors in a 2-pack. And the real attraction to this is this header card. I mean, look at that, man. It's so cool. You know, and the letters stand up because of the way it's cut at the top. Colección del Terror. And it's got the monster and the witch in there from the NPC Monsters, and there's the back of it. You can see where it was cut and folded down there. And in case anybody is curious about that, Hecho in Mexico. I don't know when this came out, probably 90s or early 2000s, I'm thinking. Maybe earlier than that, I don't know. They've been knocking these things out for a long time down there. And you know, I've got the original Pop-Tops, but I did not have any of the bootlegs. So it's kind of cool to get that in a cool packaging there. And here are some Mexican bootleg creature toys. Now this is a weird one here. It's a Pinplax creature. The mold is, you know, the aquarium ornament, but it's not in rubber. You can find these in rubber, these Mexican bootlegs. And they're still cranking them out down there. You can go on eBay right now and buy them for like 30 or 40 bucks a piece, or pay more for the older ones, you know. This one's plastic, and it actually kind of stands up. Not so well on this tablecloth, but it'll kind of stand up. I've got it in there in my shelf with my Marks figures. I'll show all that in a later video. And here's another Mexican bootleg toy. This is the Remco. And strangely enough, instead of being in plastic, this one's in rubber. And of course there's no articulation or anything, even though it's made from the Remco. And, you know, it's got some marks on the head there. It looks like damage. Maybe it is, but I mean, it doesn't go down into the rubber, so. Weird, man. Those Mexican bootlegs are weird. Here's another weird one, the Marks creature. And the base, most of the base is gone. It's just got parts of the base right under the feet so he can stand up, you know. And you know, it looks cool. I've got all those in there by my Marks figures. Now I bought some blow mold stuff. I got some others that aren't here, and I'm not going to show them now, but I will later on in a later video. This is the Tyco Toys Devil Head candy pail. It's a candy pail because they cut the hole bigger in the top. If it's got the smaller hole, about the size of a quarter, it's a light up. And a housing went down in that hole and held a battery and a light, and it had a plastic cap that fit down, you know, that held it in place. But this is such a cool toy, man. I mean, I've been wanting one of these for a long time, but they've gotten expensive over the years, and I finally got one. Cool blow mold devil head. And here's another one. This one is a candy container. And it's got some paint loss, but you know, it's such a cool thing, man. And the head, of course, is solid on this one. And the tube goes all the way up in the head. You can make the whole thing taller by pulling it down a little bit, but I just got it all the way up in there. And it held the candy. It's like little round beads of candy. Pure sugar, but we loved them as kids. I remember getting these things when I was a kid. But man, it's hard to find these devil heads now. I was glad to get it. And we have another classic devil head toy right here. This is the winking eye devil charm, and it's got a string where you can hang it from your rear view mirror or whatever. But it's got a lenticular eye. And this is really classic too, man. This is one of the really small ones. They made them in slightly different sizes, but this one's only like 2 inches tall. I was glad to get that. And then we've got the Tyco Toys skull. Picked this up in a lot of monster and Halloween stuff. And see, the hole is smaller there. It's a little bigger than a quarter, but that's where the housing would go in. This is actually one of the light ups or lanterns. And it had the handle where, you know, I guess the kid was supposed to, like, you turn it on and have the light in there, and then you carry it around, you know, and look spooky. But I was glad to get that. Those Tyco toys are nice. I mean, they're just so reminiscent of the classic Halloween look, you know. And they also made pumpkins. I bid on one of those in an eBay auction yesterday and lost. People are rabid after this stuff. Certain things, you know, a lot of it just goes by the wayside, but certain things. Big trick-or-treat bag there. Pick that up. Classic Halloween imagery. And I've got another one coming in the mail. It's pretty cool. And then the chicks in the back there. Let me show you these gals. This is the Vampire Brides by White Elephant Toys. This one is Carmilla, the redhead. And these are no doubt inspired by Hammer films and different Euro horror films from the 70s. And there's a illustration on the back. And I rigged this up so I could hang these on my comic book boxes because I am out of wall and door space for displaying action figures. And these are way too cool to put in a box somewhere. So anyway, that's Carmilla. And the brunette is Electra. And you know, not only the hair different colors, the faces are different too. These are slightly different sculpts and paint jobs on the faces. So each one really is unique. They have the same body and clothing, but let me see if I can get that to focus on her face there. Yeah, there we go. See? I mean, each one is recognizable with a different face. So that's really cool. And the third one is Lilith. That's the blonde. Now, I had her from before when she first came out. I think it was a year ago or whatever. She's on the original card. And since I showed her before in several of my videos, I didn't get her out, just the two new ones. So that pretty much covers it. Now, what I had planned to do originally is I wanted to do a big 3-video series and take my time and explain different pieces, kind of an overview of my collection. And I'm still going to do that, but I'm waiting on some things to come in the mail before I actually do that. And, oh man, when you pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store, it's a grind. And on top of that, I ordered a couple of things from Mexican eBay sellers. And you just, I mean, you just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait for that stuff. But anyway, I figure I'll eventually get it. And when I do, either in November, I mean, it might even go into December. I do not know at this point. But when I finally get all that stuff, I'm going to do the 3-part video series. And it's going to cover, you know, an overview of monster stuff that I have in my collection, as well as Halloween stuff, which, you know, to me, Halloween stuff is really just a subset of monster stuff. But I've been really hitting the Halloween stuff pretty hard lately, so I got a lot of that stuff to show. And I've got a lot of newer stuff that I didn't pull out and put on this camera just because it was hard to get to. And since I knew I was going to do the longer videos later, I'll just wait and do that. So anyhow, that's all I've got for this one. Hope you guys enjoy that, and please leave a comment if you got something to say. And I appreciate your time, and I hope you have an excellent Halloween. I'm out of here.